Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk, guys. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk about reading a match, all right? Let's talk about initial positioning, reading the match, and we're going to talk about the whole team and what they're doing in this one. I'm in my Hawk 30 Tier 8 German, I didn't say Russian, German light tank. The problem with this light tank is it's giant. It's a great little tank, but it's very large. So I'm going to end up bush tunneling here on steeps. It's right, it's called steeps. Don't even try to correct me. I call it steeps. We're on steps, and I'm seeing what's coming this way, and I go, okay, I've got a lot of beef coming this way. Looks like the KV-5, the Proto's camping. That sucks, but nothing to be done for it. I've got the Emil, the IS, some mediums. I mean, there's a good chunk of guys coming this way, and I'm one of the top tier tanks. So I know two things. Number one, I'm a scout, so that gives me an advantage on trying to get some lights. Moving with camo, that's more advantage than you might think, as long as you use it right. I'm top tier, so I have to contribute. I can't just hang out in bushes as a scout. And because I'm top tier, I may have to move around the map a little more than I'd like, depending on what's going on with the team. All those things wrapped up into one. So this is what I'm talking about, reading the match. I haven't even really started, and I already know all these things. I have no idea what the skill level of everyone is. That's something you can use with XVM. That might add or subtract to your SA on what you're thinking. But let's see how this develops. I'm going to move aggressively forward right here with the idea that I will run away if I have to. As long as I keep these bushes nice and dark, I'll get shots. Let's see if we can get a shot on this guy. There we go. That works for me. So I know there's a JP. I know there's a P43. I know there's a Super. And I know the Su-122-44 is there. That leaves a lot of important tanks unaccounted for. The ISU, the Centurion, the 53 TP, even the Black Prince and the King Tiger and the Oni are all things I'm worried about. I want to know where those are. The rest of them are problematic because they're going to pen me, but they're not going to absolutely wreck my face as long as I don't continue to get shot by them. Okay, so there's still some serious SA on the board that I do not have. That just misses. Probably hit the rock. All right, so I say, okay, 53 TP has showed up. 53 TP is over on the west side. All right, I don't have to worry about him. King Tiger, couple TDs. The Panther and the Oni are headed over to the west side on my team. And then I can see that I'm getting some beef. Look at this. We have a big force over here. Lots of good tanks. All right. So I'm thinking, good. When this KV-5 shows up, based on what I've showed them and what we're seeing over on the other side, Black Prince is not a factor. We should get a good little push going on here. So I'm going to wait for just a moment and see what we get. The Hotchkiss is problematic because he's so fast. I don't want him to come around the edge here and spot me. And that's kind of difficult with this larger light tank. If I get too far over here, I guess this way. If I get too far over here, I might get spotted by the guy. So I am watching him pretty closely. There's a couple openings and bushes here I have to watch out for. They get kind of thin right about this place. Somebody gets on this corner here, that can be an issue, but I'm not seeing that. I see no aggression of anyone poking around that corner, so I'm going to move up just a little bit more here. Because I want to give those guys back there an opportunity to get some shots, and I'm able to sneak right up into this bush. Down goes our EBR Hotchkiss, which kept theirs busy and allowed me to move up, but now I'm thinking, oh boy, he's definitely going to be a problem. I don't think I can stay here. I'm going to have to sneak into this bush a little bit more. We'll tunnel in. There we go. We get some more lights. I don't fire because I don't know what I don't know right here on my side. However, look at this. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 counting the dead guy, 14 counting the artillery. From what I can tell, there's only one dude that we don't know where he is. And their main power is definitely over on that side. And we have an IS, a prototype, a KV-5, a bunch of support guys. And I'm thinking, all right, assessment-wise, if I were running this show, we would push this flank and munch it up and then probably have to turn back around. Killing the LTTB helped out. I'm going to sneak up even more because this enemy team is simply not going to be very aggressive. I get this guy lit. I resist the temptation to shoot. Nobody gets any shots. He gets lit and bails off of that hill. But I see him coming, so now I know I need to back up. And we're getting a little bit, this is getting a little dodgy. Try to sneak back into the bush right here so he doesn't get a sight down into the bush onto my turret. The Super Hellcat moves back. And right now, I expected to see the KV-5, the IS, and the Proto just trundling along this edge where this Leo is. and nomming these guys. Because now we have a time issue. It's 3-3, but it looks like on the west side, they're outmatched. Granted, they have an RHM, the Oni, and the King Tiger. Those are all good tanks. They should be able to hold on to them for a while, but if the enemy team sees what's going on in this game and looks and says, I don't see the KV-5, I don't see the prototype or the Hawk or the IS, I think we can probably take these guys with the force that we've got. Good news is it doesn't happen, because this is what we're talking about, reading the match. How do I know, how does Guido know / anticipate what's going to happen? And what I'm anticipating now is I'm probably going to have to get out of here because my team simply does not want to take the SA that I've given them. It's a Jag Panther, a Super Hellcat, and a P-43 TR against all those 7s and 8s. Obviously, I don't expect the Saint Emil to push in, but we've got the Leo here, we've got a Proto, a KV-5, and an IS. And all there is are these 3 guys sitting here, ripe for an absolute face smash and probably a subsequent follow-on back to cap, because we expect the guys on the other side to lose based on what they're facing. This is reading a match 101, guys. It really is. When you are that guy sitting back here, you are the top tier Proto, you are the top tier KV-5, even the IS, and you are looking at this setup. You have to expect that your weak side is going to lose, which means you have a time problem. Either I win this one quickly or I react back over there. And we had the definite opportunity on this one to absolutely roll up this flank. And I know part of what's going through the mind of the people in the back is, why is that stupid scout not giving me lights? Well, because stupid scout pushes into here, he dies. And then he's not useful to the team anymore. Maybe these guys get a couple shots, maybe, but they don't clear this flank and I die. So that's why, in case you're sitting there wondering why I didn't push in and get lights. Also, this guy needs to go. And right here, I figured I was going to get lit and killed. Very surprised he didn't see me. I got into the bush just enough. See how I'm actually tunneled in there and covered up? I think had I been sitting around in the bottom of the river, he'd have seen me right there based on line of sight. So that's part of the scouting, kind of keeping track on where guys are looking. And then I went, ooh, they just killed that guy. Now for sure, they're definitely going to push in and take these guys down. So I'm just waiting for it. Here it goes. Here they come, right? They're coming. They're gonna push. They're gonna No, they don't. The Su-122-44 is moving into the middle. And guess what? My prediction of the west side losing is absolutely happening. I mean, it really was just a matter of time for them to lose over there. They had less tanks. The enemy had their best tanks over there. I'm looking back going, heavies move. We are losing on the other side. That's what I tell them. And now I've come to the point where I can't wait any longer. Right? Now they move. Okay. Reading the battle, folks. Timing, understanding when it is you need to push. Finally, the KV-5. And what happens here a lot of times is players will look at this situation and go, oh my gosh, I'm losing on the other flank. So they recognize that. They're cognizant of that. But what that makes them do is, I better push my flank and win it. Right? Instead of going, oh, I'm way late on this. I guess I need to fall back and take care of my cap. And then we'll worry about the JP and the Super Hellcat, who are clearly not interested in pushing in. If you're the enemy JP and Super Hellcat and you're watching the minimap, you're going, oh my goodness, I think a lot of their really good tanks are on my side. I don't think I want to be seen. And they're not going to push in. Good news is the ISU was back there. Okay, there was that X factor for them. We did not know he was sitting there. And now I can just sit here and farm a llama ding dang. I don't get spotted. And that guy's got some pretty bad crew if he didn't spot me from there. I mean, that cover went away right when I fired. Take a little peek on him. Looks like they're P-43 TR. Well, they got a lot of tanks. So this is just farm time here. I don't get lit by the Oni, which is fantastic. He's trying to push in. Okay, I killed him. I thought I hit the P-43 TR. There we go. Finally get lit by something. So we'll back out. Their Artie's dead. That's beautiful. I don't have to worry about really trying to cover up against Artie. That is exposed and vulnerable to arty right there. I'd had to tuck down a little bit behind the rock. I'm going to wait an extra long time so they can't time me coming up and over. TR's doing a nice job. 53 TP is a little bit hold down right there. Then I'll sneak one right into his turret. And this is not necessarily one, right? They've got some pretty good tanks pushing here. Who went back? Me, the TR, who was the only other guy who was getting any kind of aggressive up there, and the Saint Emil, who's more or less in the same position he was, but I get it because that tank, that's exactly what you want to be doing with that tank. Our prototype KV-5 and IS are still trying to kill an ISU and a Super Hellcat. So this poor guy, he's not seeing me. He's got a terrible crew as well. He is shooting at exactly the direction from which he's getting shot. So good on him for that. He knows he's doomed now. I think he's just going to... Does he take a shot? I missed. And he gets fixed. He's thinking, I'm going to get away. But he does not get away. Does not get away. And we're just farming these guys like you read about. Down goes that guy. There's an EBR Hotchkiss somewhere. The Centurion and the Black Prince. I don't want to push into him exactly right now because if the Centurion and Black Prince catch me out in the open, that's going to suck a bit. So I'm going to wait for a moment. The 53 TP dies. The Super Hellcat dies back there, and now it's looking like a much better situation for me to push in. I'm going to actually try to go up. I almost freaking went over on my top right there. That was sucked. I try to go up here, but you need a lot more speed for that, so I don't make that. I have to abort that idea. Find the Black Prince. He's actually on the inside of the rocks looking towards the infield. The Centurion is still hiding behind that rock right there. Unknown why he isn't kind of peeking out and looking for people, but I think he's up top trying to shoot towards the TER and the rest of them over there. Notice the KV-5 and the IS are still futzing around with the ISU, who's somehow managed to fall all the way back in the face of those three tanks. We'll come around here. I get a little bit unlucky with the auto aim. Actually shoot him in the track on the side of the tank. Thank goodness he missed. We'll come around here. Missed opportunity. Would have been a nice kill for me, but all right, we'll take the spotting on the Centurion and head down this way. ISU is lit. I find him, the back of him, and now he's just sandwiched. He's between a rock and a hard place, and I'll just farm a bunch of hit points off of him, which is nice. Keep your vote. Keep your gun in the game. Keep moving. Keep looking for hit points. Keep pressing W towards them. And an 1,800 damage game turns into a pretty nice little game. We get up to 22. Guy still has 500. I don't know why those guys aren't pushing him. Oh, it looks like IS is finally pushing him. There we go. The TR wants a little love, and he takes that guy down. Fantastic. And we're at 2,500, right? From 1,800, from really 400 or whatever it was that first shot, 200 that I put into the JP. A really long wait, watching, assessing what's going on, knowing that more than likely I'm going to have to go back because my side's not pushing and their side is probably going to win. Reacting then as they won to go back to a position I know I can defend the cap from and go from that 200 damage up to 2,500. Just like that. And then, of course, you always have to take this kind of kill at the end. This guy quit or went AFK or God knows what. Come back here, I find him, and initially I went, I'm going to shoot him, and then I said, oh, he's not moving. If he's not moving, that means he's AFK, so I'll just do a little of this right here. Little ram kill. An Angel gets its wings as a wheeled tank dies. We end up with 3 kills, 2,523, 1,518 assist. And I think a really good example of assessing a game. And how to know when to go back. And really assessing it from the beginning and going, all right, I have a general idea of what I think is going to happen here. Does it always happen that I am exactly right? Absolutely not. In this case, though, I had a general idea of what I thought would happen, and as that general idea turns out to be true, okay, proven, then I had a plan. I'd already thought about it. I already had a plan. I didn't worry that, all right, my guys on my side aren't going to push. I have to go do that thing, right? The thing is, get back to the cap and defend. I can't rely on them. I have to go do it. And instead of looking at that situation and my assessment being, oh my gosh, we're losing on a flank, I need to YOLO forward and make something happen, whatever, the tanks they had weren't going to do much of anything anyway. They're not particularly suited for pushing. We can deal with the campers later. Let's go take on the guys that are headed towards cap who are aggressive, and then we'll clean up. And of course, diametrically opposed 180 out from that are the tanks of mine who sat there misassessing the situation and then decided to push the flank at exactly the time they all needed to go back and up the threat to your own flank. I am telling you, folks, the one thing you can do to improve your win rate in this game is to go back to cap and defend and stop pushing bad situations or stop reacting incorrectly to situations like the one you saw right here. Instead of, oh my gosh, the other flank's losing, I need to press and try to win this flank. How about, oh my gosh, this flank, nothing going on, these losers aren't attacking anyway, let's go back and kill their aggressive tanks. There really is no simpler way to increase your win rate. If you're already doing that, that's where it's going to get a little bit more nuanced. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate it. A little bit there on assessing a match later.